the great Preston Nguyen.
Let's go. Okay, Mo.
Good evening, and welcome to Mr. Karos, Mr. Misko, faculty, honored guests, parents and family, and friends. In the Brothers Karamazov, the elder Zosima says that all is like an ocean. All flows and is contiguous. If you touch it in one place, it will reverberate at the other end of the world. Throughout my time at this school, I have found this to be true in more ways than I can count. During the senior walk, we all had the chance to reflect on the numerous chapters of our lives that have led up to this moment. Each grade that we were in, each day that we went to school, and each interaction that we had with a friend or a teacher has shaped our identity, our character, and our faith. Whether it was learning Latin with Miss Roberts all the way back in middle school, or learning about the Holocaust without the words, I can say with certainty that our time at Founders has been full of transcendent moments. All of our teachers have disturbed the ocean of the universe. Through their striving for virtue and their love for God and for others, they have created reverberations in the lives of so many people. We need to follow their example by making sure that the ripples that we create spread goodness across the world rather than spreading pain and suffering. This is much easier said than done, but there are a couple of things that we can do that will help us live the good life, that will bring the kingdom of heaven down to earth.
Come on.
Firstly, we must strive with the eternal. Kierkegaard says in Fear and Trembling, "He who loved himself became great in himself, and he who loved others became great through his devotion. But he who loved God became greater than all." What do you love? By answering this question, you can determine the trajectory of your life. Those who love what is good, true, and beautiful will live a fruitful life of eternal joy, a life that blesses many others. But those who only love themselves will not be able to find eternal peace and fulfillment. Many of us try to find purpose in the finite things of this world, but the truth is that God has placed eternity into our hearts. You can't fill the eternal hole with finite things. You must fill your soul with what is eternal, with love for the transcendent, with the love for others. To strive with the eternal does not mean that you must neglect everything in this world. In fact, it means just the opposite. Take responsibility over everything that has been entrusted to you. Learn to see the transcendent in the material, the universal in the particular. Learn to see the beauty of an onion. It is by truly living in the present, by paying attention to what's right in front of you, that you will encounter the eternal. One moment from this year that I will remember forever is when Ashley made food for my family after my parents got COVID. Through that particular action, she was able to shine God's light into our lives. She showed me what it meant to truly pay attention, to live in the present. It was such a selfless and loving act, especially since Henry, Billy, Zatiel, and I had just tried to kill our senior assassin a couple days earlier. This brings me to my next point, which is that we need to slow down. It can be easy for us to get so caught up in life that we lose our innate sense of wonder. As Mr. Threet would say, do something that won't compete. Play an instrument, play a sport, write some poetry. Find something that you can fully throw yourself into and do it with all of your heart. One of my favorite quotes for this whole year is from Dostoevsky's The Idiot. Thank you to Henry for showing me this, and also Wade for seeing. Beauty will save the world. At first, this seems to make no sense. Beauty just doesn't seem necessary. Sure, it can be fun to listen to a piece of music or look at a work of art, but can it really save you? We cannot fully describe the effects that beauty has on a person, since each person must encounter beauty for themselves, with their own five senses. But, as we learned from Dr. Tuska and Moral Phil, Plato states that when someone looks upon earthly beauty, he is reminded of the true beauty, and his soul acquires wings. Slow down and allow beauty to take hold of you, and guide your eyes upward. Submit yourself to the beauty of art, of silence, and most importantly, of the people around you. Allow their beautiful words, actions, and character to remind you of the beauty of their souls. Let their beauty draw you towards their creator, who is the ultimate artist. Like Alyosha and Brothers K, learn to love all of God's creation. Please bear with me, there's only 2 more Brothers K quotes after this one. The earth's silence seemed to fuse with that of the heavens. The earth's mystery came into contact with that of the stars. He stood, looked, and suddenly cast like one who has had the legs cut from under him. Why he embraced it, he did not know. He did not try to explain to himself why he so desperately wanted to kiss it, all of it. And frenziedly, he swore to love it. Also, slowing down enables you to contemplate on what is meaningful and to question yourself. As we have learned here at Founders, most of learning how to think is not actually thinking, but learning what to think about. Take time to reflect on what you believe and why you believe it. Always ask questions in pursuit of the truth, and don't be afraid to admit when you can be wrong. Finally, die to yourself. It is only by dying that we can fully live, that we can fully love others. After all, Jesus says that there is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Although very few of us will be physically dying for our friends, shout out to all the military people. We should strive to die for
That's kind of crazy.
Wait, that is not.
Die to your old ways of sin and vice, and continually strive for goodness and virtue. Because, as we have heard many times here at Founders, virtue is a habit. This will enable you to truly love others, to love in a way that imitates Christ's love for us. Although it might be easy for us to say that we love others, truly loving others, actively loving others, involves so much suffering, pain, and death. As the doctor says in Brothers K, I love mankind, but I'm amazed at myself. The more I love mankind in general, the less I love people in particular. That is, individually, as separate persons. In my dreams, I would really have gone to the cross for people if there was somehow something necessary. And yet, I am incapable of living in the same room with anyone for even 2 days. It's hard for us to love others because it's our nature to look at others and only see them for their sin. Our eyes are often blinded to the good in them, but within each person is the divine spark that is waiting to be kindled into the fire. Recognize each person for who they truly are. Everyone has a unique goodness, a unique expression of the transcendent that only you can draw out of them. But in order to do that, you must be willing to live in the same room as them, to love them in their sin. We must learn to forgive and to ask for forgiveness as well, for it is by choosing to forgive that we can embody Christ in His divine love. We must humble ourselves and recognize that we have wronged others. When we die to ourselves in order to love, we not only bring out the light in others, but we also bring out the light from within ourselves. We become more aware of the divine light within each of us. In Brothers K, whenever a woman asks Osama how her faith can be proven, he responds by saying, here it is not possible to prove anything. It is possible, however, to be convinced by the experience of active love. Try to love your fellow human beings actively and untiringly. In the degree to which you succeed in that love, you will also be convinced of God's existence. As you all go out into the world, please be aware of the ripples that you are creating. So many of us end up bringing more suffering into the world than we realize. Pay attention to what's going on around you. You are not going through life alone. Surround yourself with people who support you and guide you on your journey towards the transcendent, towards eternity. Find meaning in everything that you do, in all your relationships, or as Mr. 3 always says, either everything has meaning or nothing has meaning. As we leave Founders, we might forget a lot of the facts that we learned, the dates we memorized, and the verbs that we conjugated. But the deeper transcendental lessons and experiences have been baked into our bodies, minds, and souls. It's up to us to keep alive the ripples that our teachers have created. Recognize the eternal, universal effects of your actions. Slow down and die to yourself out of love for others, so that you may continue to spread the reverberations of goodness, truth, and beauty throughout the ends of the earth.
Amen. Amen.
Preston, Don, Nguyen.
Malachi Olson.
Look at
Lily Pig Reed.
Rebecca Joy Sumlin.
Preston!
Kasu Sakuji.
Preston!